Welcome in everyone to the Challenge After Show. Today, Pamela and I are talking about the Challenge, episode 19 of season 39, Battle for a New Champion. Only one gets the crown. Even though
Jenna couldn't take it, guys. She couldn't take it. She was like, forget it. It's week 19. And she jumped off that cliff forward facing the way Corey didn't want to.
Yeah, so Jenna is sick. We rescheduled 3 times, but she's still sick. So we said, you know what? It's been a long time enough. So let's put this out before All Stars 4 starts, apparently. So, you never know.
Yep.
So
So Jenna, feel better and let's do this. Let's
let's
put
do
this
this.
bitch to bed. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get your overall thoughts of part 2 of the final, and then I'll give you mine, and then we'll break this sucker down, I guess.
Okay. So overall was sort of a complicated mix of I'm going to be positive, more positive than negative. I had a very mixed feelings about this. Overall, one, I thought the positives are that I thought the actual challenge itself was pretty good.
What? Be specific.
Two, like the actual like things that they did in it when we get into the
Okay.
actual events I thought were good challenge events. They
All
had a
right.
good
All right.
balance of things, except for stupid Sudoku, which I think they really need to take Sudoku out of the finales. But second, I mean, I was disappointed that Nerys didn't win everything, but I was overall pleased. And I was not as mad. I felt like Emmanuel deserved the win for his at the final performance. I
If
felt like he did
right.
really
If
well, and all things considered, again, I'm being positive. I
mhm.
felt like not angry that he's the one. At least it is someone that I don't hate and that didn't do anything terrible. And that, I mean, these are all negative positives, but they're positives. And that, really I didn't realize that his dear mother who wants to retire had to work in another country. So,
Oh,
all
we'll
right.
break. We can break all this down. I got a
Okay.
lot to say about that
Okay.
too. So
Overall, fine. Overall, like I feel a literal. I was like, all right, fine. I'm not like mad, but I'm not that like,
yeah.
yeah.
Overall thoughts: if these 6 contestants from day 2 just showed up one day randomly, there was no season 39. They just showed up one day and they were told to do these tasks. Obviously, Emmanuel performed the best, followed
Right.
closely by Nerys. So the 2 people that performed the best, they finished in theory the proper order. But if you take a look at the entire season, Nerys should have been at the top, followed by like a Kyland, and you can go on from wherever
Right.
you want from there. But that's how I feel. That's how it should have gone. But
Sure.
considering this is what we're left with, this is what's left on our plate, and we have to eat what's on our plate. The food was consumed properly, and I enjoyed the food for what it was, if that makes sense.
Except for one exception, which I fully, a million percent do not think Colleen deserved to place at all. I don't think
Okay.
she
And I will, and
deserved.
I have a couple hot takes about Colleen. Actually,
Okay.
I actually think, like, obviously, I don't think she deserved to even be in the final based on what she did throughout the season. But I didn't think she performed poorly. I never heard her complain. Right? She kept working hard. She kept trying her best. It's not like I had to hear Berna or Corey. I didn't have to see Corey. I don't need to see Corey crying. Like, we can break all this down. It's all ridiculous.
Yes.
Hot take was I thought Colleen performed better than Berna, and I don't think that's hard. That's
Oh,
not even a hot
totally.
take. That's like a warm take,
I
honestly.
thought Berna did not perform well. I thought Corey definitely deserved. I mean, like so they did this final, and I can't wait to talk to you about this because I was like, they did the whole stupid thing that they did when Casey won again too, where so your days before almost didn't matter. At the end, it was just a race.
Which I was okay with
The last
because
leg, I was not great with that. It went. Thank
but
God,
they
nobody.
gave. Here's the thing,
Thank
though.
God.
Hold on. If Emmanuel, this is actually, I think this is actually, producers did a good job with this. If Emmanuel does not win day 1 and somebody else does, guaranteed whoever wins is putting Emmanuel into that elimination to start day 2. Correct? Do you
I don't
understand what I'm
know.
saying?
Jay and Corey,
Guaranteed. Emmanuel is clearly the best player that made it to this final from day one to day two. Yes, he is. Like
I don't know that that was that assumed. I didn't wasn't like
okay.
100%
Let's say,
on
okay,
that.
let me give you an example. Let's say Nerys somehow beats Manuel in day one, and she has immunity after day one, and she gets to pick someone to go into an elimination to start day two.
Voting in Jay.
Jay's already gone. Jay's gone on title
Oh,
day
Jay's
two.
already gone
My
in this
point is,
scenario.
Emmanuel is being put into that elimination guarantee because Nerys does not want to have to face him on day two. Anyone would have picked him. All of our viewers here obviously are going to say that. So my point is, day one actually mattered. Finally, it actually mattered, especially for someone like Emmanuel. He's like, if I don't win day one, I'm going to get thrown into this elimination, and that's very chancy. As we saw, it was putting blocks into a glass case. I'm sorry, but like, yes, Nerys is awesome at puzzles, and I'll give her props for figuring it out. But a lot of that is like I'm just going to try it a bunch of different ways and hopefully get lucky. Maybe I mean,
I mean,
is how much skill, how much.
all right, let's just get into it because this is
Well,
where
that is what it is. So it's
okay.
a Nerys gets chosen by Emmanuel, and she has to pick a draw, and it's super random. She doesn't even get to pick her competitor, which you were
I
asking.
didn't, yeah, I didn't like this. I felt bad. I mean, like again, the only other person that I like don't dislike actively of these last finalists is Mariah. So I was like, oh man, like I wish she got to take out Colleen or freaking Berna or one of these people that did
I
that
mean,
to her.
look, honestly, like, not that I'm a huge fan of Colleen, but she somewhat won me over in this final just because I do believe, I'm sorry, but like, Berna, you suck. I
I
thought you were pretty good at stuff like throughout the season. I'm like, she's just not getting to show her talent because she's like just being saved every week. She doesn't have to do anything. But she is not, she's one of like, she's like to me, like, I'm not saying she's like an Anissa, but like when you put her in a final, you're like, oh, you're not actually good at this. I don't need to ever see you in another final, Berna. I'm good with this.
agreed because we did feel like she didn't in her first season, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't she not make it to the final because someone picked CT? She was with Uncle CT the whole time and they were
Like I'm
kicking
gonna
her.
remember this, but I don't believe she's ever
Okay,
been to a
but she
final
didn't
before.
make it to a final because I think, oh no, that was Emmy, that was Uncle's. Anyway, someone else, it was
You
a
know,
bummer.
she
We wanted to see what Berna could do in a final. It felt like she was robbed in her first season because towards the end, this was when they could pick their new partners in any event. Well, now we saw it again, as I said with Anissa. Bring her in a final. Let me see. They're so eager to be in a final. Maybe I'm wrong. Now we have seen Berna in a final, and I completely agree with you. She's a complainer. What I will say about Colleen, ding, put a gold star for my positivity. She did have a good attitude. I will say
yep.
she had a good attitude throughout this. Everybody and Nerys, God, was so impressive. It's
Yeah.
Nerys had a great attitude. The people with the best attitudes won. Let that be a lesson,
And
people.
not only is Nerys like, okay, first of all, let me just say this for years now. I've been saying that I like Nerys not only as just a person, I think that she brings good entertainment value ever since she was on Are You the One? She's very entertaining, but I also think she's better at this game that a lot of people give her credit for. And this season, she got to prove me right for all the haters out there saying, Dan, you only like Nerys because she's hot. I'm like, okay, sure. Yes, I
Oh,
find
the
her
whole we
attractive. Big
all
deal.
Nerys,
But
I think, won the whole entire world
she won the
fandom
world over
over
this season.
this
And
season.
let me also say this about Nerys is she brings that old school challenge like entertainment value. When she said tonight, when Corey and Berna were freaking out when they were about to go down this, like honestly, like TJ pointed out, it was a small sloped hill. This was nothing compared to what other people have had to do when it had to come with like, oh, it's 120 degrees out or it's below 30 degrees out and you have to survive. You're going down a hill this is the easiest freaking thing. So mind you, this is so easy. So Nerys is like, y'all can quit and guarantee me third place. Thank you very much. Like it was
Right,
just entertaining. It was really funny. It made me laugh out loud. I'm like, yeah, good, Corey, go home. But
right.
anyways, we'll move along here.
Well,
Yeah.
it seems like our biggest point of where we differ, it seems like we agree on all of this. The biggest point where we differ is Corey, who we're at the mountain part and crying. Was that after they didn't sleep? Again, I feel like I didn't sleep watching this final.
They didn't yeah, I'm trying to look up here. I wrote everything down. Yeah, Nerys wins, then they go right into no sleeping where they have to remove tiles. We can talk about that in a second, but we
But
can
was
get to
the mountain the day, was the mountain prior or post no sleeping?
It was after they didn't sleep.
Okay,
They went to
so
do
I,
they had a swim. They had to swim
that's
to the
where
island, then do the thing. Yeah.
I clocked that as just like exhaustion. Like I almost, because I was like, Corey, what the fuck? Like, really? I was disappointed at Corey at this point where he was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. He really almost was going to quit. And
He
TJ was like, this is ridiculous. You're not, after all
who
this,
you mean
quitting.
TJ? Oh, TJ, yeah.
TJ.
It looked absolutely like not that big of a deal. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Even like Colleen was like, yeah, no problem. I'll go down there. Like everyone was
It
like, yeah,
was
no problem.
700 feet, which is not nothing. They said it was 700 feet up. And if you're afraid of, again, I'm not, it's like, what? You came this far, you did all this shit. Now is when it was definitely
It
and
was
now
weird. It
warning.
seemed like an overreaction on his part. So maybe you might be right. Maybe it was a sleep deprivals type situation moment for him. At the same time, though, I just think it goes to show like maybe you're like, dude, you coasted through the season. You didn't really have to challenge yourself too much. And now all of a sudden you have all these challenges put against you and you can't handle it. Like, oh, maybe it does benefit somebody to go into a couple of eliminations or do something on the
Right.
show. Did you see how confident Nerys was the entire time? I mean, she had to do another elimination in the final. She beat 5 people in a season. Like back like how many people that made it to a final can you say actually had to take out 5 people to continue on and get there, right? I
That's
guess
why
we
we
can
love
say
her.
the Cara Maria season where she kept getting thrown down there like 4 weeks in a row. But like other than that, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be other examples that people will put in our comments and say, Dan, you should have
Sarah had a
remembered this.
few.
But like there are other people, but not many. Let's be honest, right? That have had
Yeah.
to go through 5 people to say I made it to the end of a final.
And
Like, and
that's who we
that's
love. And that's who we love. And that's why they deserve to be champions. I can think of off the top of my head. And Cara Maria, Sarah, I think had a season where she
Sarah
really
had a big
like
season one time. And like,
yeah.
mind you, yes, Nerys took out 2 people at a time, but that still meant that she had to beat
No,
2 people. Like if she messed up one thing, only one other person had to beat her for her to go home. Like that's insanity.
Nerys earned every freaking penny of that.
Of
And
that 60,
like,
60K she got. Yeah.
the other thing I like about that is that Nerys, who's probably who's significantly younger than the OGs, 60K is a lot of money. If you're used to winning 1 million, it's like, fuck that. Also, sorry, I have to interrupt myself. Shout out to Tori and Jordan, had to go into many an elimination on Battle of the Worlds or whatever. Both of them were on the
I mean,
gear.
look, we're going to keep coming up with examples. There's other
Anyway,
people that have had to
but
do this. Yeah.
people, and that's why we love them. That's how you make a challenge champion. Even Stupid Bananas, I have to give credit to, because that season where the Lavender ladies were coming after him the whole time and he went into elimination after elimination, I think that was the season he won. So, and I'm not positive about that. I don't remember. I just woke up. I
There's
don't know.
39 of these. All
But
right. It's okay.
there's 39. Give me a break. But yeah, but one other thing I have to say before we move on from this, from the beginning, when Emmanuel puts Nerys in and she's just got tears in her eyes, I was like, oh my God, Nerys, thank God it was quick and easy and she won. I was bummed that it was Mariah that she sent home, because also I thought she had more of a chance of beating her than other people. So
Yeah.
I would have liked to have kept her around, especially with the swimming. We know Mariah would have not done well then anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and that really put Nerys in a at she's not a great swimmer. That is one of the 5 assets that she needs to work on, because she did like one of dead, like almost dead last, came up on that to run on that bridge area, the concrete bridge. So
that's
that does
where I
suck.
was like glad that it didn't cross over to the next day slash
Yeah,
irritated.
because if Emmanuel had gotten a head start, then Nerys would have been even further behind. Yeah,
The
but
only
let's
time that it really drove me nuts, sorry to interrupt and to just close this, is that when Berna cheated on the thing with Colleen, allowed cheat, so maybe conspired, they worked
yeah, we'll
together.
talk about we could yeah. There's a lot
Okay.
there. Yeah,
So that's where I was like, if this bitch fucking gets, just by some miracle of God and cheating,
you mean
like
Berna or Colleen?
Berna
Yeah.
like, gets in the top 3, I was gonna lose my
Well,
mind. So,
supposedly they said that she cheated on the Sudoku as well. Or is that
yeah,
what you're
she
talking
did.
about?
Of
Because
course. No,
she
I'm talking about the one where Colleen left her answers for her to cheat on purpose.
for the names of the people.
Yes,
Yes. So like my point is like I feel like Berna cheated twice.
she
And then
did cheat twice.
also the other thing about Berna too is she was dead last for finishing like that pulling up the weighted thing. And they just showed her running down the concrete. We don't even know if she finished it. I think they producers were like, all right, you're guaranteed to lose. So just go finish it. So I don't even know, like, that's my conspiracy. Did Berna even technically finish the final? Because in order to finish the final, in theory, you're supposed to finish all 5 of those checkpoints.
Right.
The other ones they did allow you to time out on. However, on the 5 checkpoints they didn't allow you to time out on, you actually had to finish them. So I'm like, Berna, did you actually finish the final? Did they just let you time out on that last one just so you get run out, so you could all be at the end there and have TJ say nice things about you, like whatever.
Well, if they did, they're earning their paychecks, because I was like, whoa, oh my God, is Berna going to be able to, like, that's where I get freaked out about the last
Look,
leg,
I mean,
just a race.
they all got 4 out of 5 checkpoints by the end there. So it was
Right,
a
but Berna
pretty...
cheated. We'll get there. Berna did not get 4 out of 5.
Sorry, so 4 out of the 5 of them got 4 out of 5, you know,
Exactly.
something like
4 out
that,
of
if you want to
5
say it
of
that way. Yeah.
Berna sitting there going, like, I didn't do math in school, just tumbling and acrobatics and, like, trapeze
And
and
then
circus
2
school.
seconds later, she solves a Sudoku,
And then she solves
which
it
I don't even know if
before
I could solve, which I'm not good at those. So whatever.
anyone else. No, she said, no, I only got the first 4 numbers. It's like, well, even if you got the first 4, the first top row, right? Because of Colleen, she admitted to taking anyway, we'll get on to that, but thank God she didn't. Again, positive Pam says, thank goodness Nerys beat Mariah, because who knew what that was going to be, and who knew who it was going to be.
Like, honestly, like, I mean, there's no way to rig that for Mariah to lose, but producers were crossing their fingers. They were whatever they could do,
But you can't.
rubbing their bunny feet. I don't know if anyone knows that from the 90s. Bunny feet were thinking
Yeah,
your lucky bunny foot,
lucky
your
bunny.
rabbit foot, whatever. Praying that Nerys won that elimination, because my God, who would have cared? Like,
Can you imagine?
even though, like, I kind of, like, obviously spoilers happened in our comment section that Seti Man was going to win. We can say it now because it's over. That's what I'm sure. Did you read it too, Pamela? Did you see those
I
spoilers in
did,
our
and I
freaking
was
comment
like,
section?
why would you write that?
Right. So at the
Or
at the
least
same
like
time,
spoiler alert if you know and you're actually spoiling. I'm assuming they were just
no,
anticipating.
I think that jackhole knew exactly what he
Oh,
was doing and just being an ass. Like,
oh,
whatever. I don't
don't
know how else. I don't know how else to
be an
say it.
ass. We
I
love you guys. None of our fans are asses, but
The guy that the guy that wrote the spoiler, I don't care if he ever watches us again. He can go to you know where. And honestly, like, yeah, he ruins it for everyone. So now I'm wondering is, like, can Nerys at least get second place? Like, that's how my mindset was watching the final, because of that dickwad. So, like,
yeah,
that's what I had to deal with at that moment. But I'm like, at least Nerys got, I had no idea who got second. So at least Nerys got the best place available after I already knew who technically won the whole damn thing.
Dan, I like that your ire goes to a person that did a spoiler, and that even your, like, dad sensibilities, even prior to you being a dad, that your like curse, your bad word is like dickwad.
Yeah, I don't like I'm not a big
You're not a big cursor.
I'm not a big cursor in public. Like, in private, if I get really mad about something, but I'm also, like, doing this whole new thing where I work on my I have really good patience, but I have such good patience that when I do blow up, it's like a big blow up. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
working on that. So I got a kid now. Obviously, I never want to make Stacy, like, upset. So, I like to control everything. But as far as the spoiler guy goes, yeah, I mean, like, I don't, like, he never has to watch us again. I could care less
Okay.
about this guy. So being
I
rude to
like
him, whatever, whatever. Like, you can bully him in the comments. Like, what, he did it to himself. Like, you know what you're doing when you put that up there. To me, it's all fair game to not, like, you can verbally attack the back, whatever you want to say, but, like, what's going wrong in your life that made you feel good? Like, that's where I really want to break that down with somebody. Like, sit someone down and talk with them. Like, why does that make you, because you have nothing else going on, that this is the one thing you can, like, add to your society, like, ooh, I controlled one thing here, ha ha ha, where, like, because your life's
that.
obviously not going well if you're doing that, because I
Just
would
say
never, like,
spoiler alert is all my it just I would just say spoil if you're I know that this is the day of
right,
the
spoiler alert, and then maybe comment on that comment so we don't have to necessarily go and view it technically. But why do you even want to do? That's why I want to break that down with that person, Pam.
some people don't hate, I don't know, let's move past this, but yes, some
It's
people,
hard for me too, Pamela,
I
because they
hate it.
ruined the end
I
of
know.
the.
I like it. I like that it made you mad, because I feel like I'm always the blow up angry person. So now you get to be mad at
No, that type of
spoiler
stuff pisses me off. All
dickwad.
right. So they do the little swim, right? Which we didn't really talk. So the Nerys gets last in that. Then they have to go and run. And then they do the whole going down the mountain, right? Or no.
Okay.
The no sleeping thing was interesting, Pam. They have to do the tile removal stuff. This was interesting.
This was a big, sorry, this was a big, that to me was the hardest. So they do the first day and all the stuff, and then they do the swimming, and then they go to tile no sleep. Is
No,
that
no, no.
what?
The first thing they do after the first day, the first thing that happens is the elimination. Then they go into immediately
Okay.
not sleeping. So not only
Okay.
does Nerys win the elimination, she gets first place on that tile removal thing and then gets the sabotage. And while she's sabotaging, she is giving reasons to Colleen why she's sabotaging her. And it is so entertaining. It's so like, I don't want to say it's like it's thoughtful, but it's well thought out. The constructive
Uh-huh.
this is why I'm giving these tiles now because of what you did to me earlier in the house. You lied. You said that I started this thing when it's actually you that started this thing. And we had talked about how it was Colleen that started this thing.
So
It's a
yeah.
payoff. It's what Jenna always calls we got a payoff. And Nerys is great at expressing her feelings when she's upset. And it was awesome.
Yes, Doris is just like really again an all around all star challenger, which again I didn't know. I didn't know. I will take the heat for. I thought she was hot in other seasons. Sure, she's a hot girl that's entertaining. I did not know she had this much of a warrior.
And
I
by the
didn't know
way,
she had this in
you spoke of her hotness. I think she looks just as good, if not better, without makeup. Like we saw her in the elimination. At that point, day number 2, she had no like zero makeup on. I'm like, honestly, and I think Stacy also commented on it. She's like, she looks better without makeup. I'm like, I know. I do like
you
the
and
Monica
I,
Geller thing.
we're
I know.
90s, so it's a different generation. I do too. I think cuter. That's just, I mean, like we're
Right.
they're obviously of an aesthetic where they spend hours watching with her makeup. It's like, and she's not even like all fake and funky looking. She's gorgeous either
Right.
way.
She's still
These,
like
these
yeah.
kids today, I think a lot of makeup is like expressing herself in fashion, and it's like funky, and I don't like the look of the way she. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
for
Well,
me when any of these, but she's gorgeous, hands down,
right,
one way
because like
or
I
the other,
whatever
and
Nerys is
naturally
doing,
beautiful,
yeah, she's
naturally
naturally beautiful.
beautiful.
She's not doing. I mean, she might be doing like maybe a little lip filler.
But
I
she's
don't know.
not
But
ridiculous.
it's not
Not over
ridiculous
the
to
top.
like where what Olivia's doing to herself. Like Olivia's on another level with her makeup and with all the stuff she's doing to her face. She's kind of like a Mariah as well. Like just like because I was telling you, I looked up Mariah before she got her nose job. I was like, she looks better to me, honestly.
Mariah, I think, is really beautiful. Whatever. We don't need to, everyone can do what they want. I'm not here to judge.
We
My
and
point
people
is,
that are viewing us know this, Pamela. So we're
no,
just talking. Like they
but
know we don't like.
my point is, well, getting there, that's my preface, and then I have the backhanded thing, is that it is the generationally, if you watch Love Island or any of these things, these girls that are 20, they all have the same face, is what it is. So they get the same look, and it's like this very housewives looks, which makes you look like you're 40 to 50, which to me, I don't understand why they're taking their beautiful 20 something faces, which again, it's like you do that when you're actually 40 and need to fill your face weirdly in your 40s and 50s, but they all look, to me it looks bad because they all look old because they have the same face, which is that of a 50 mid 50-year-old woman. So that's why I don't like it. I think I'm not into it. To each his own. Do what you want to your face. I'm I'm not mad at it if people want to do things to it, but I feel like they're
Do you know?
look back
Do
and
you know
wish
the
them.
actress? Do you know the actress Erin Moriarty? She plays like Starlight or something on the
Yes, yes,
boys.
yes, yes.
Did
Did
you
she just
see
get
what she?
really skinny and she got to the last season? I love the boys. She's in the boys.
She was. I found her so attractive on the boys, but she's totally like changed her face and everything
Well,
about.
she's also got real. She also like was skinny to begin with and lost like 30 pounds. In this last season, I kept thinking it was part of the storyline that they were. She was like,
She says here that the change in her looks is simply due to her weight loss, which is what you're
okay,
mentioning. But
that's what stood out to me the most. I mean,
I
she,
don't. I mean, yes, and obviously she's lost too much weight. I agree. Like, there's nothing wrong with that's too skinny.
well, which causes which causes probably her
But it
face to
also
look
looks like
thin, that she probably put filler in her face. I,
oh
I
god.
noticed the weight loss most, but um, as a person who does not just like drop 30 pounds without, it's always like, what's going on to me? Like I again realized that I've been listening and so immersed in like podcasts and reality TV that I know now, I'm aware that everything is a problem. So I'm scared of everything I say. It's like,
Oh,
oh, but in any event, having said all that, and everybody I wish well, Yeah, as a person who doesn't lose weight, that would be my struggle. When I see that, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is going on? Like, skinny people don't drop 30 pounds in a couple of months for no
Yeah,
reason. It's bizarre.
it's
And
just
I was
I guess my point
worried.
is
The reason
like
I'm saying is I was actually concerned
people
because
people in general are naturally beautiful, and I feel like we've gone too far in our society to get to this other look, and it just doesn't. I I think a lot of, I mean, I'm talking about women mostly doing this, but I'm sure guys are doing stuff too, for sure. But as far as just being a male, like I look at a traditional woman and I'm like, I just find that so much more attractive.
I
You know
do
what I mean?
too. It's all interesting. My husband is watching right now, and therefore I'm watching it with him. A documentary on Netflix about American gladiators,
It's awesome. I mean, yeah.
muscle madness or
Oh,
something.
I mean, I was a huge, that was like
What's
my
it
Saturday
called?
mornings.
Oh, you should watch this documentary then.
I've already, well, no, I've already said I've watched the documentary. But
Oh, okay. So what
I
I
don't,
was gonna say is
Nitro, all those guys, right?
yeah.
Nitro was my
Blaze.
favorite for sure. Yeah.
Um, so it is, I think each culture, dare we call it, meaning like the gladiator culture, that look, there's something like those people were into being gigantic and doing
Right.
steroids. Like everything has its own aesthetic. And I feel like reality TV people have their own, they're like their own thing with like what's attractive to them on TV and whatever, or influencer look that might not translate to the real world, at least that you and I live in. So for them, I say do it. It's like the steroids. To me, I think it looks
Yeah.
terrible.
I
And
mean,
I would never want a guy that looked like that. But if that's what you're into and how you want to look,
right. But I
then
wonder, American Gladiators was so niche. It was such a niche thing, right? Where reality TV is such a huge thing. I do believe it is bleeding over into just society and just people that have 9 to 5 jobs too. But not
in real life, though, I will say with my nephews in college, when I see them, because it makes me worried when I look at these shows and look at the internet, I'm like, is every college age person running around like Olivia? No offense on Olivia, but is that what they look like on a college campus? And they don't.
and that's my
They
point. It's
still
like
look like normal.
influencers and YouTube people and TikTok people, they're not, and Instagram people, they're not necessarily famous, but they have a following and they all are starting to take that trend of a reality look. And it's a lot.
Well, and let that be. I think the world agrees with you because a few people, like legitimate stars, like Megan Pie, hate to call people out or insult anybody. Love you all. God bless you in your
Megan
face.
who?
Megan Fox.
Oh, Megan
But
Fox,
when
yeah.
she transformed her transformer face, no one likes it. It's like you're gorgeous already. Don't do fucked up things to your
Have you watched the new season of Love is Blind yet?
fucking A. Oh my God. Well, we might need to do like a Patreon or
It
something
is. I mean,
about this.
Stacy and I are obviously obsessed with it. The problem is there's only
That's what
recently.
I've been obsessed with, and I'm like worried about myself because I think between Traders, Love is Blind, this, I'm like, I am becoming a stupid person. I'm
No,
getting
come on.
there.
No, not
No. I'm just
necessarily.
saying I'm obsessed though. I like
They're
watch
all three,
TikTok
all
theories
these.
about it all
Uh,
night, and there's nothing. I don't get any new. Oh, and Sandoval. Sorry, Vanderpump Rules now. So I'm like,
that's the only one I'm not
Mom
watching. But you
said,
not? Are you watching Jersey Shore? Are you watching the new Jersey Shore yet?
no.
See, that's my other one too. Like I'm watching all these right now. I have so much on TV, and I have no time to watch it. I'm like, I try to catch up anytime I can, but
So I
obviously
have a
with
problem though. Like I like scroll theories, and it's like Kenneth is a jerk. Like all it's like I'm not learning. It's so I'm like I could be reading poetry. It could be
look.
like
I'll
reading
say this: like I work my 8 to 5 job every day. I need that escape, and
totally.
that's my escape right now. And
Totally.
it's
I just am at the point where I'm fearing that I'm spending too much time in this escapism where I could be spending because I'm a big reader. I read about a book every week. I haven't read a real book in like 2 weeks. I've
jeez.
just been like,
You want to know the last set of books that I sat down and read, and you're going to make fun, but it's hilarious? I read all the whole Twilight series.
oh, goddamn Twilight's so fucking good.
It was so good.
Oh my God, I just reread The Hunger Games and was like, these are fucking great. I liked them when I first read them, but I was like, oh, whatever. And then I
Yeah.
reread them all in anticipation. And one other thing while we're on a tangent, just because it's so funny, my friend's son just turned 5. So he was 4, he just turned 5.
Good call, Pam.
I know math. I went to
You're good. You're unlike
so
Berna, you know your
I'm
math.
like Berna. I know. I was like, come on, Berna. She's worse. She's like, I don't know what numbers are. She was worse than me, and I cannot do math. But for his birthday, she was left her phone on and she was like, I'm going to shut the door, Henry, and you can say any curse words, any bad words you want for a minute. And
Wait, I
so,
did
but
I
listen,
s- wait, did I see this on Instagram or that was just another kid? I
oh,
think
I
this
don't know. Maybe she
moms are
learned it.
doing this. Moms are doing this. It's a trending thing right now. I
Okay, so
saw some.
she just sent this to our friends. I didn't know, but it must be a thing that other
Yeah,
people
I
do.
was gonna say if
But
that's the
he just
same
went,
one.
you just see him making angry faces and going, shut up, shut the hell up.
Yeah, okay.
Duty. It's really
Yeah.
great. Like,
Though
what do
this
you think?
kid said something
Duty comes
much. This
out.
kid I saw online said
No,
something
he
much
does.
worse. But
Her kid is just
yeah,
really funny. And then it's shut up, shut the hell up. Like, it's just variations of shut up.
you're right.
But at some point, she was like, "That we don't say that. That's a really bad thing
Yeah,
to say." So for him, it's like, "Shut up, shut the hell up." Like he's
right.
thinking of various
Big difference. Yeah.
yeah. And then it's like duty. It's very cute. I want to look at the other ones then because I enjoy it.
For sure. All right, let's all right, so we got the tile thing, which I thought was super interesting. Also, like, I thought Emmanuel, I can't believe he was putting so many, he stacked them. Very good idea there. Just overall, Emmanuel, here's my point on Emmanuel. He finished second and still he got sabotaged and still finished second. So it just goes to show you, in theory, if this was just a 2-day final out of nowhere, they just brought these kids in together to perform or compete, he obviously deserves to win. But
He
overall,
had the mindset
you know what I
and
mean?
the attitude. He does not bring the entertainment value.
No,
And I feel like, unfortunately, it's not, it's, if I had to speak in a different language on a TV show
yeah.
and be very entertaining, it would be very difficult. So
Oh,
I'm not saying that's
yeah, exactly, right? But
excuse,
I have
but
a
like he did a good, that's why I'm like, overall, I'm not super mad at him. He competed, he did his job, he did, we can't take the victory away from him. He's not Nerys. He's not going to stand out as one of the
right.
best, most exciting challengers ever to make it onto our screen and have this amazing season. But I'm glad he can retire
I
his
came
mother.
up with a reason that I feel like he deserves to win. And as a teaser, I will wait till the end of the episode to let you all know why I feel like Emmanuel actually deserves to win. And it's yeah, I was like,
Ooh,
wow,
I
oh my
can't
God.
wait.
Yeah.
Okay. I
All
can't
right.
wait.
Moving on here. Okay, they tiles, they stay up all night, then they have to swim to the island, then they have to go down the thing. We talked about Corey just, I'm sorry. I don't care. This is the challenge. This is the final. No excuses. Do your research. Watch how other competitors have done it. They step up and they do a lot more crazy things than going down a slight slope. And the fact that TJ had to convince him to do it, at least TJ was in there like, dude, you bet you got to do this, man. Like, what are you going to come all this way and not do? At least he was like real with him. And like, I wish him was a little more like, dude, quit being a freaking puss and get down there. What are you
Right.
doing?
And
You're
it's
you're
like you're
playing
saying
for
that you're here
200.
to show every little gay boy that you can be a challenge champ. It's like, then don't cry at the mountain. Don't cry at your chat. Like, come on, man. And I wouldn't say that if he didn't say, "Hey, I'm here to show every little gay boy
He
that
said it multiple times.
we've got what it takes." It's like, well, then have what it takes. Don't make TJ convince you to, because
Yeah.
if TJ was like, "All right, sure, all right, bye," it's like, really? I was mad at Corey for that.
Yeah, I was mad.
Really
That
mad.
turned me
I
on
thought,
Corey, actually, Pam, right? Like that was like I was rooting for Corey. Like let's I want Corey to get third place. Like at least, because I want Nerys to get second because I knew about Emmanuel. So I'm like, all right, Corey can get third. I'd be okay with that. But I wrote down weak sauce when this happened. I wrote down the words weak sauce because it really was some weak sauce. And that I don't have time for that when I'm watching a final. Like I
and
don't
I wrote, Corey, what the fuck? Go.
there we go. All right. So
Yeah,
we're
go.
both
Like, what
upset
are
by
you
this, apparently.
doing? Yeah.
Okay. So now they have to so checkpoint one was they had to do a tanagram after they rappelled down a hill. Emmanuel finished first, Colleen second, Corey third, Nerys fourth, and Berna
Right.
fifth, but I think some of them timed out. And that was all because they had to go down that hill. And then checkpoint two is now when they have to go swim underwater and they have to replicate the answer key. And all of the answers were former challenge champions, I
I
believe.
had no idea. Did you have
Again,
any idea what
they
was going
don't,
on in
yeah,
this?
Pam, they don't explain it at all. Like I'm just looking at people's names. I'm like, okay, I think that person won. That person may have won. Did that person win, or were they just on the challenge? I think they won. I think it was former
I
champions.
had no idea what was going on. I feel like in the shooting of this and the production, they didn't even really show them underwater, like what they had to do.
Like, way to like
Usually,
try to incorporate like a past thing of like former challenge champions. Like, but what a poor job of doing that. It was piss poor effort on their part to
I
make us
bet
even care. Like,
obviously I bet it just didn't translate and they edited it down to basically nothing, but they needed a voiceover to explain. We had to go under, like we had no idea what we were
yeah.
watching. Like we had to go under, someone at some point towards the end of the challenge says, oh, Nerys, thank God. Nerys is like, oh, it's a memorization challenge. So I was like, oh, so they're going down and
Well,
memorizing.
I got that aspect
I
of it, but
didn't. I was like, is it a quiz? Are they answering questions? Are they trying? I had no idea what was
yeah.
going on because
So
they didn't know.
let's bring this up because I know people are going to give us a hard time if we don't. Nerys and Corey actually end up working together for this. They actually help each other so they can finish it faster
Yes.
because Emmanuel finishes so fast. He's so far ahead. And Nerys and Corey say, hey, look, if we even want to have a chance of finishing this thing maybe in first, we should probably work together. I don't know. I thought it was actually like, I think it would have bothered me like regularly, but like I wanted Nerys to win so bad. I was like, no, 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 you guys got to catch up on this damn thing because
If
Emmanuel
you're
is
both
running away.
struggling, I agree.
Yeah.
And that also is not cheating, that's collaborating because it's two people working
Right.
together.
Exactly.
Not
They
one
hadn't
person
finished yet.
finishing it. It's not
Hmm.
like Marie said, okay, Corey, I don't want you to lose. So
It's a half cheat.
it's not even a cheat.
It's a
I feel like
peak.
I don't even think it's any cheat. That's a collaboration. That's not a cheat. That's
Yeah,
like,
and then do we give Emmanuel even more credit since he didn't work with anybody ever? I mean, it's like, all right. That's not
yes,
my reason, by the way. That's not my teaser. I have my teaser for the end of why I really feel like, okay,
Manuel,
give him
I
the
think
win.
all said and done, nobody's saying he didn't deserve the win physically. Like we're all, I think we can agree he dominated this. He has the right mindset. He has all the physical components. He just is not a top entertainer to us.
And he didn't do anything all season either, though,
And it
right?
was,
Like
he
just
had a boring season. So
and you
he
know
was,
what? Back in the day, though, if he appeared like in like the early 2000s, they would have shown all three of his hookups and a lot more of it too. So we might have just been entertained by him being the bad boy, and that would have at least like maybe, oh, we don't like him because he's cheating on girls, his girlfriend, and he's cheating on the girls on the show. Honestly, like he did like a double cheat. He cheated on his girlfriend, but then hooked up with three different girls on the okay. But we would have been entertained by it because it would have caused more drama, which they used to love to show us. Now they don't show us that, so Emmanuel really has no place in the challenge. Plus, his
uh-huh.
English is not great, so he can't do a ton of confessionals. He doesn't say anything funny or witty because English is his second language. So, okay, there we go.
And
All
I'm
right.
sure he is. I wish we did get to see his drama with the hookup girls.
Hell yeah.
And well, I don't know why they didn't show it either. But it's funny that his girlfriend was mentioned only whilst the paper she wrote was in his hand. Like never a mention again after the.
Well,
It's
Berna,
like
like I
he
said, I brought
fully
it up
forgot
though.
she existed
Berna does
until
mention it. Berna did mention it one time.
Berna did. I'm
Yeah.
saying Emmanuel has only brought up his
He didn't
girlfriend
acknowledge it, I guess. Yeah.
once. No, I'm saying I think he literally doesn't remember she exists unless he's holding an item of hers. It's like
Yeah.
a
Can
trans.
someone comment in the comment section? Is Emmanuel still with this girl, or did she move on
I
to
don't know.
somebody
We have
else?
to go back. We have to figure out. But I would guess no. But what the hell do I know? Now he's
Right.
rich. So okay.
All right. So checkpoint 3 is 5 stations, any order. So are there any of these you want to break down? Obviously, you mentioned Sudoku kind of sucks. It's also boring to watch. At least like the balancing thing, it's someone's entertaining where they have to lift up those things. So you have the whole moment of they're almost there and then it collapses. So you get that drama there a little bit. The breaking down of a trash can, it was super simple, but at least it was something different. You had to use a little bit of strength and endurance.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, it was.
it's something
I
different than
liked
just
all
your
of these.
mind, I guess. What other ones?
My big takeaways again from this are shut up, Berna, who's my new
Yeah,
job.
Berna, you can't do math. You cheated
No,
again. Yeah.
he cheated again. The drink, crying over the drink that
Oh
was like
God.
mayonnaise and tuna fish or something. It's like it
The
wasn't even
not Yeah, it was, first of all, the drink thing in general was stupid. Like, yeah, I get it. You get to keep showing a logo of TJ with like a chef's hat on in the corner, like he made the drink himself. He concocted it one Sunday night just for the show. I don't need the gimmicks. I don't need that crap. Chugging the drink is stupid. I guess, are they that worried about them not having any protein in their body? They make Berna, she upchucked the whole damn thing anyways. Like, what are we doing here? I don't know.
Berna and Corey lost me at at their freakouts about these things. Berna almost quitting over a drink. Eventually she got it together, but and Corey with the mountain, those were, I was like, come on, you guys. You know, that's
And you
not
know,
challenge
neither one
champion.
of them placed. So actually, Colleen, I'm telling you, I don't think she deserved to be in the final, but once she's there, them being the top three, I don't necessarily. I know you were more upset by Colleen getting third than I was. I was excited at the end. I was hoping it was going to be more neck and neck with her and Corey, like going back like
Yeah.
this. But honestly, cheap editing. Corey was nowhere close as far as I'm concerned.
You know what, Dan? You might have brought me over to not be as pissed about Colleen because as much if we're taking exclusively the
Exclusively.
final,
Yes.
so I'm still pissed for all the reasons no Reese was pissed. And I'm glad she got to explain that, and I'm glad she got to sabotage her. But you're
Oh, it was
right.
great.
Attitude wise, the champions of this
Yep.
were the three that placed.
Yep.
The two whiny baby bitches were the ones that didn't.
Yep.
So again, I guess it did. Colleen, I did say, even though I don't like Colleen for what she did throughout the season, she performed okay. She kept a good attitude, which is so
Right.
important. She like you never get, her what she was saying of like, and then I just thought, what's a champion's mindset? And you don't get upset and you keep trying and you stay calm was the correct way to play it, and it paid off and fine. Again, I can never see her again happily and not mind, but she did perform. She did the third best in
Yeah.
the elimination.
Honestly, besides Nerys, I'm trying to think. I mean, Emmanuel performs well, but he's not entertaining. Not that this show's focused on the entertainment value anymore, which is super disappointing. But I don't need Emmanuel is going to be invited back for season 40 because
Emmanuel can be
he's
in
the
a
reigning.
world one again in the international where they're paired with a
Yeah, but I mean, challenge season 40, like they're gonna cast him on it just because he's the champion. He has to. They usually like to cast the champion most likely just so they can try to go back to back in theory. So he's going to be asked back. He's going to do it, obviously, because he wants to. Reese is guaranteed to be asked back. Horacio, Kyland, maybe even not Kira, Kara. What was her name that went out? That's super fit and skinny. Oh my God, why can't I?
Zara.
Zara, Cara, I said Cara. Yeah,
Yeah.
Zara. Like, obviously, I think that she should come back. That was someone that they mentioned that her in the comment section. I totally forgot. Like, yeah, she deserved to be in the final too. She would have been great in the
It would have
final.
been great.
Right.
And Berna, whining Berna, shut up, Berna, at the little mini things, at the end, the mini
Yeah.
final. She's like, this is what I like to do. TJ, what have you had? It's like, what? This is just a shorter version of everything. What the hell are you talking
Yeah,
about,
and
Berna?
Bernie, you don't get to like choose what you are good at for
Yes.
the final. You're supposed to be good at everything. That's why we have our 5 assets. Have you not watched our after show, Berna? No, you have not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, Berna did not perform well. And again, yeah, we were all sort of thought she was really had something to show, and she didn't,
Yeah.
apparently.
Why do you think Corey struggled so much with the balance beam? Was it a weight issue for him because he weighed it down so much? Like the more you weigh down a balance beam, the rockier it's going to be. Where if you're lighter on your feet, you can kind of just skip across it. I think that was his issue. I think he's heavier on the an upper body, very heavier on his upper body, his huge shoulders, and whatnot. So maybe that like upset the balance beam
I
on him.
don't know. I don't know. I have another friend who is literally like, I don't know, he's proportioned. He doesn't look like this, but he said his like literally ankles are like he has a back machine. He's like, my wife has to flip it over and like get me like, I can't bring myself back. Like he can't lean back. Like his bottom legs are like his weight is constant. I
Okay.
don't know. His center of gravity is low.
Okay.
You have I don't know if this is real or if I'm making it up, but something like that. Cause I was like, what is wrong? Like, again, I'm
Yeah.
like, what is wrong? Why can't
Right.
you do that? But
Yeah. So that threw me off. But whatever. Okay. Do you have any? I mean, I honestly don't have any other.
this is no good. This is where, again, I just want to talk about Berna cheating. The Sudoku, which they should have learned their lesson when everyone had to like bomb out on that mountain and no one won that year, or how horrible Sarah the cop won that
Oh, the
year.
USA one or something. Yeah.
Yes, because no one could do the
And
Sudoku.
and that football player guy who we liked for that season.
Oh yeah, no, but this wasn't that. That was. Oh, did he win? No, that was they won
Isn't his name
together.
Danny?
Danny,
He has my
Danny.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, they won together the next season, but I'm talking about their first
Yeah,
season.
but he was one of the ones that they let
Right.
be
Okay.
like they both came back somehow for that next season. It was him and her for the world championship. Those
Yeah,
are the
you're
two that got
right.
to come back for some reason. They
Yeah,
were invited back. I don't remember.
I think you're right. They won. So, or maybe I don't
They didn't
know.
even know. I don't know if they, yeah, whatever. I don't even know if they won, but they were
When
invited back
I
for
play
that.
Sudoku on my phone, the only reason I can ever correct anything is because I know what's wrong. If that makes sense. Like
They
when you
show you, they
phone,
highlighted or
it's like
something.
circle, like this
Yeah,
one's not right.
yeah.
And it's so horrible because even knowing it's like, I have to redo the whole thing. I feel like it's so mean to do to sleep deprived people.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you
I
know, hey, I have another conspiracy for that too. Like at one point, one of them, a Corey, I think, was like, "Oh, it's right, good," and he left. It's like, well, did they just let him finally just like what are we gonna go look and check to see if every number is right? No, we're just assuming the producer said it was right and it was right. He might not even have it might not even have been right, is my point. Like producer, like, yeah, man, you're finally good. Like I think there's also something. I don't know if all of them actually finished that Sudoku because who's gonna go check their math? Which one of us is gonna call them out except
well,
for me right now?
it's not nothing to check the math. You know, there's a key chart of correctness. There's
Yeah,
only
but
one right
what
answer.
if just two numbers are off, Pamela? And they just say, yeah, yeah, sure, you're good. Like, who's gonna go back and call that out? That's
I'm
my point.
assuming someone whose job that is to like literally look and check it, and we're
No,
not
I
seeing.
know, but like, what if they're like the producers are in their ear to like the
Just
PAs,
let him go.
like
Yeah.
just let him go already.
I
He's
mean,
still,
it's a fine conspiracy.
yeah,
But Berna again, she's like, what? No, I only, and then Colleen finishes and Berna right on her heels after saying she doesn't know what
yeah,
numbers are, somehow completes this
right.
in 2 seconds before Emmanuel, Nerys, and Corey. So that I was like, I mean, it wasn't a thinly veiled cheat. It was completely a cheat. She's like, no, I only got four
Yeah,
numbers from her or something. But it's like, I was just like,
yeah.
if she
She, you
somehow
know, Berna does not have the patience to do that balancing thing. So I was like, I really wasn't worried about Berna completing it.
thank God, because I fell for it. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, I guess if it really came down to it and she was going to take the win from someone, the cheating wouldn't fly. But
I was getting nervous. I really was like, please let Nerys get second. There was at one point I was nervous Nerys wasn't going to pull it off. But I think, again, producers could have been like, yep, you're good. You got the Sudoku, go. You know, like just like we need someone to get placed that someone likes. I mean, there's other ways to go around it. But even if that happened, I don't give a crap. Nerys deserved to be at 0 place, a place above first place in this damn thing. So, yeah. Anyways, okay. I will get to my teaser now. Should we do the teaser? We've waited long enough for this, I guess.
yeah, let's do it.
Emmanuel wins. Emmanuel, I know, shocker. He starts telling TJ's asking him questions. It's somewhat awkward, whatever, but TJ's asking him, like, how do you feel? Like, you know, blah, blah, blah. He brings up his mother thing again, how she's working in another country, wants to get her home so that she can work there or not even have to work, whatever. That doesn't even get me, Pam. I get it. That's awesome. I'm glad he wants to. Okay. He brings up his goddamn grandparents and how they don't even have heat in their house and how he's going to provide heat for their freaking house. At that point, I said, all right, hands in the air.
Fine.
Give him the goddamn money. The fact that we are so spoiled here that we don't even think about the fact that I got central air, central heat. I got it all in this house that I'm living in right now, right? The fact that his grandparents don't have heat. I'm sorry. Holy crap. Give his goddamn family the money because you know he's gonna be very generous with his family. It's good. Good. It's good. Give it to him. And you know what? Honestly, it wasn't one of those seasons where they won $1 million. He won $250,000 after taxes. You know, it's gonna go down somewhat. So God, yes, he deserves it. Yes, I'm done. He wins.
But in Romania, that's like $5 million.
That's my point, though, right? So, like,
Right.
Nerys is living in the U.S. Her 250 is not going as far as his is, is that how it works though? Does the 250 get taken out from US because he's technically from the US, or does it get taken out from Romanian dollars? That's a whole other
I
conversation.
have no idea, but I'm sure I mean, wherever it's issued from, I think that's where the governing place.
Really? I thought either way it got taken out. Since he won it in the US, it gets taken out US dollars, then he can transfer it over to Romanian bucks when he gets back.
Right. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
But
I
it's going to
agree.
go further in Romania, but still the same amount gets taken out, but then it's going to go further in Romania. I see.
Right. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying the money, and
Yes.
again, what got me, and if you haven't seen our interview with Tori on season 37, when she was hooking up with Emmanuel, she
Ah.
talks about going to visit him and Emmy, and how, I mean, like,
Mm.
it is a third world, like that for me. I don't know much about the country, so I'm not going to speak on it,
That's
but I she was like, I mean, like, the what she conveyed was that it was a poverty stricken, like it wasn't a great, or where they lived or whatever,
right.
that money would be beyond life changing.
Right. So,
Having
yeah.
seen that firsthand, so now I agree. I am like, all right, I don't hate it. At least he's appreciative. Like, you get the other people eye rolling at $250,000. It's like
And we
he's
and I
happy.
and we remember I brought that up in like episode 1 or 2 or 3, whenever that was. Like, people got, I mean, like, guy, be grateful. It's $250,000. I get that on other seasons they won 1 million, but my God, like, what are we doing here?
Right, Melissa. That's when I started
Is that
so
that was probably my first moment where I started to dislike her that season? Then if
me
she's the one that I
too.
rolled, yeah.
It's like, ugh, that's nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
listen, Melissa, I know you don't want to work.
Yeah,
You just want
yeah.
to
In 2001, when you're
make
on
it
the
to
show and
your
they were
home.
winning 50K, all right, relax.
Yeah.
Okay, you're getting more than that. You're getting 200,000 more.
A razor phone and a Subway sandwich. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a Razor scooter. Yeah,
Yeah. I
everything
need
Razor.
that.
Yes.
Everything.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Oh, well, I agree. I'm like, at least it's going to someone deserve. Like, yes, all said and done, not mad. It will be life-changing money for Emmanuel, who deserved to do it. And we are saving generations of Emmanuel's
And that's what
family.
I said. I said, why didn't they mention earlier that he's also going to hook up his grandparents with heat at this point in their lives? Like, imagine being 80 years old, 70. They're probably 70. He's younger than me. So maybe like 70 years old. And for the last like 20 years of their life, they get heat now. I mean, that is like,
Yeah,
holy
imagine,
hell.
I mean, we are so spoiled that I'm glad that it is going to someone that's going to really appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
And that
So,
earned it.
look,
So great. And
that's where
Nerys,
we're at.
great. And then Colleen, mad about her, but my positive Pam spin on the whole finale is that she did. I liked, even though I don't like her and I was mad at her this whole season, my notes are all shut up, Berna, shut up, or boo-hoo, Corey. Wow. All right. Good attitude, Colleen. Good
Yeah.
attitude, Colleen.
I think I brought that side out of you more. So this is good that you got on that side of
Yeah,
things. So
I
even though,
did.
again, like I said, and you said it as well, I don't ever need to see Colleen again, though.
I don't need to see her again, but I've come around on her. She can have her whatever money she won, and
Yeah. I think it was 30K. So
go back on the mole or whatever.
where's she? She's not from Romania. Where's she from?
No, somewhere Nordic. Remember when it was Colleen and like I like Switzerland or
Yeah,
Sweden?
the other blonde guy with long hair.
Somewhere very, yeah, somewhere blonde.
Somewhere
They're just
blonde.
like so perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have the season wrapped up, we have a reunion next week. I'm hoping it's just the one episode, so it'd be 20 episodes. I don't need to see two. And then I'm hoping we get a couple weeks off before they air All Stars 4, which I believe is end of March. I believe that is coming up. So we are close, but it would be
All
nice to
right,
get a couple weeks
everybody,
off.
and let us know in the comments if you want us to like re-up the Patreon and talk about Love Is Blind, because I'll do it all day, baby.
Hell, I mean, at this point, like, we could literally just talk about Love Is Blind on our YouTube channel too. So,
Okay.
you know,
Well,
we don't
let's talk
have
about
to.
it real
Yeah.
quick then, right now. Bonus. Ooh, bonus, guys. If you want to stick around, we're going to discuss Love Is Blind if you watch it, because we can talk about it.
Pamela, but this is going to be like an 80-minute conversation.
There's nothing.
So
They're
much.
it's turned out now, so you're caught up in everything.
I'm 100% caught, but this is a huge spoiler. If you haven't seen Love Is
Oh,
Blind, stop
don't watch
watching.
this. Yeah, spoiler alerts if you haven't watched this, and then beyond, because there's things that I'm like, did I miss episodes that people are talking about on the internet? Let's just talk about two. These are the two things I must discuss with someone, because I've just been in my head about them.
We
And
got 5 minutes, Pamela.
5 minutes.
Yeah, go. Go ahead.
All right. Chelsea, just good God. I mean, talk about her and Berna and Josh can go live on an island. And I'm sure she's a nice person. Again, I've watched her and she's like, you have to understand. But I can't, her voice drives me nuts. And Kenneth, people are mad at Kenneth. And I read that last
Wait a
season,
minute. Wait. Who the hell's Kenneth?
the principal, the black guy that's with Brittany.
Oh, yeah. Why did I not know his name? Oh, she called him
Is
Ken for a while.
Kenneth.
Yeah,
Okay, because
Ken.
it's
Yeah,
a silly name for him. I'm like, who goes by Kenneth as an adult? Like, come here, Kenneth. But his name is Kenneth. And
yeah. The principal. Yeah.
I feel like my read on this situation is so off from what people are saying. People are really pissed at him. I read that as her saying, so there's the scene when they're in the kitchen and she's saying there's one thing missing. Essentially, I read that as her saying to him, I am not attracted to you. I don't feel desire for you.
Wait, you're saying he said that to
Brittany's saying
her?
this to him.
Right.
She's
Wait, she's
upset
saying
and
she's
she's
saying it to
saying
him.
to him, you're great and you've got everything, all the qualities and this and that, but what's missing? She's saying in every way, but directly saying, I am not attracted to you,
Right.
but there's something missing, that desire, that passion, that animalistic, that wanting to kiss and so she's saying, I'm not attracted to you, is what
Right.
I heard. And he shuts down nicely. Everybody's so mad at him, and I was like, what did he do? If someone was like, yeah, you're fine, not feeling you, I'd be like, all right, well then we can't get married. I mean, like, I would do exactly what
Look,
he did. So I
Pamela.
want to know why people are mad at him.
Pamela, well, first of all, I don't necessarily agree with those people, but at the same time, look, neither of them were attracted to each other. All right. He's
Oh, you
never.
think he wasn't attracted to her too?
No, the dude they all of a sudden they get off their honeymoon and they always, and this is also Love is Blind editing. They make it look like it's going, pretty well in the honeymoon so they can show when they get back to the real world how the real world's too hard to still be with someone. He was right back on his phone. He wasn't paying enough attention to her. She was personality wise as well. Like, yeah, they were both into God. Like that was the big thing they connected about in the pods. That's not going to work necessarily in real life. That's the only thing that you have in common is that you're both into God. All right, honestly, he's never dated a white chick before. All right. And I don't think he was expecting in his, this is my opinion only. Okay. I don't think he imagined himself ever marrying a white chick. I think he always imagined himself marrying a black girl. And that's totally fine. And
Right.
that's why Love is Blind doesn't necessarily work because we have our preferences
Well,
when it
guess
comes
what?
to what.
I think this show has taught us love is not blind. Love is not blind. I haven't watched the other seasons. And I'm
Oh,
going to
I've
be
watched them all. They're all awesome. Last season was
really?
okay, but the other ones are amazing.
I can't. Has anyone ever worked? I feel like this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
toughest thing in the
Oh,
world.
yeah. Actually, I can name 3 different couples right now. One of them I just saw on Instagram. They're having a baby.
Okay.
That's from last season.
Where I would advise for people that are more like that love this, but are a little more just like curious about human dynamics and communication, seeing more and explored, is Married at First Sight, which is sort of just like an
That one's,
extended version of Love is Blind.
yeah.
I love it because they really try, they have to be married for 3 months. So you take these couples like this, but they have to work through issues before they decide.
Okay, well, Pamela, to bring up your Love is Blind thing again, why is Chelsea telling Jimmy in the pods that she looks like Megan Fox?
I don't know.
Okay, so if this is Love is Blind, you shouldn't be allowed. They should literally, you should take it and say, oh, you mentioned that you look like Megan Fox. That's giving away what you look like. You need to go. But at the same time, it's hard to monitor that because people have like traditions with their family or things like that. Like when that the girl that's dating the white guy, the Latina girl that's dating the white guy.
Yes,
he mentioned
she's like, oh, and my
things
quinceañera. It's like
about her culture. So now he probably, unless he's a dumbass, like knows that in that type of background they celebrate a quinceañera. Like, so it's hard to monitor it as well, right?
If you're gonna speak to someone enough to fall in love and propose marriage, you're gonna know I'm Jewish. You're gonna know I'm like, if
right,
I'm
and
gonna
that's, I think it's more of like the fact that she literally
you're gonna know
knew.
I'm from New Jersey. You're probably gonna get that I'm white. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these things.
Here's my thing on Chelsea real quick, and then we can go. Chelsea knew that Jimmy was dating other girls, and he knew one of them was Jessica, who honestly, just to the eye, is more visually appealing. I'm sorry, a lot more visually appealing than Chelsea. So she's like, well, how do I get him back on my team? And she fell for that hook, line, and sinker. And he knew damn well he got caught. And I would be really interested to see if she didn't mention Megan Fox and he picked Jessica. I would love to see their dynamic. I wonder if Jessica would still be into him when she saw him, and see if that works, because it seems like now that we don't really know yet, because Jessica's still talking with that other blonde girl on the show. She's like, his voice. All I need is his voice. I don't care what he looks like. Well, let's put this into action.
Yeah.
I want to see this shit happen now, and it looks like we're going to get it. So I'm excited to see.
It looks like we're going to get it, and I'm excited. What my take again on this from watching was that Megan Fox pushed it over, telling her she looks like Megan Fox definitely pushed it over the edge. However, homeboy did not want her 10-year-old daughter. Like that was
the biggest.
I think he might have picked Chelsea, even if she didn't say she looked like
Maybe.
Megan Fox, because of that. He was like, like he wasn't like, okay. Like he was like, oh no. Like that was, to me, I was like,
and here's the other thing too. It's like, it just goes to show you love is not blind, because if he knew what Jessica looked like, he would not care that she had a 10-year-old daughter. He might care, but he would still want to see where it would go with her, even like just because of what she looks like. Let's be honest.
Just say
it might not have worked out in the end, Pamela, but like he's a guy and he still would have wanted to get some from her. Let's be real.
This is a gimmick. Love is Blind. Like this whole show is based on a gimmick of, is it? They're not. Yeah. Of course not. We know it's not. You have to be. There's all different things. At least married at first sight, you learn to love. There's all different factors for a successful,
you need to mature, see somebody.
Right. But there's mature if you really do sort of love someone. But
and let me break this down for you too, Pam, real quick. The three couples that I can think of from Love is Blind that are still together, when they saw each other, they were both still very physically attracted to each other. So, oh wow, go figure. That actually has something to go with the personality. It's just Love is Blind is the opposite of how you meet people, say, on Hinge. On Hinge, it's like, oh, I find this person attractive. I meet them, and then okay, we get along, we'll keep dating. It's this, you need both things. You need two to tango, whatever you want to call it, but you need both things. It's garbage to think that you don't.
Absolutely. And you need two things. And it's like being a challenge champ. It's in love, you need two things.
You need five things to be a challenge champ.
5 things for a challenge champ. You need 2 things in love. And both of those, I think, things in a long-term mature, the bottom line is that it's like a slinky and things vacillate, and you might have phases of being, there's ebbs and flows in all sorts of emotional connections. But when you commit as an adult to someone that you love, you work through those. When you talk to them while lying in a fuzzy blanket through a wall on TV for 5 minutes, the commitment is not there.
And mind you, though, if they come out with season 7 of Love is Blind, I'm watching it too, though. So they got me. They figured out, they've gotten me hooked. So
it's so, but I will say the other thing is that I missed a lot of the nuance because I can't deal with these ding dongs in the pod talk. Like
go watch season 1, Pam. It's okay. It's really good.
All
I won't give away anything about season 1.
I don't care. So I essentially, I have it on, but I'm like doing so many other things that
season 1 is amazing, Pam. Go watch season 1. Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, I got to go, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll see y'all next week for the reunion. I believe they're just going to air it next week. I don't think they're going to skip anything. So they're going to skip a week. So we'll get a reunion.
If you have any good gossip, tell us in the comments. Not spoiler stuff for the reunion. Nothing spoilery, but I haven't listened to any other podcasts or had a chance to do much.
Yeah, I'm sure someone, Nerys is probably coming out with stuff and all kinds of stuff.
Let us know these things because I do love it in the appropriate, in due time. And we do love you guys. Thank you so much. I even love you, spoiler. Don't listen to Dan. You're not.
What the hell?
Just kidding. I hate you. Okay, shut the hell up.
All right. Anyways, we'll see y'all next week. Pamela will be in touch via the text machine to figure out some things about, because I would love to talk more Love is Blind as well. So yeah. All right. See y'all soon.
Getting in the car too, so call me if you want to talk.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right. Bye.
Bye.